Morning, Bryce. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Yep, thanks for having me.
No problem. So we're going to kick things off with Alex Zitla, followed by Steve Reed.
Hey Bryce, thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you about your off season to date so far. Did you mostly stay in Charlotte? Did you get a chance to go back to California? How have the past couple months been?
Yeah, been between here and California, just going back and forth. Trying to spend time with family and obviously just get ready for the year. Just been working, been trying to grow. Getting your off season routine is always nice, and then you kind of get that itch to come back. So it's always nice to be back here, be back in the city for a while, and also just be back around the guys.
Have you gotten a chance to reconnect with John Mechie? Obviously, the Panthers signed your old teammate, and what has it been like to know that you're gonna reunite with John?
Yeah, it's super exciting. Yeah, we're super close off the field. Obviously, yeah, we're together at Alabama, so I've always been close. So it was exciting when the news broke. I'm excited for what he can bring to the team, and I'm excited for the receiver room in general. We have a great room, a lot of really talented guys, a lot of great players, a lot of young players. So it's exciting. I think that for me, it's just really cool to watch that room develop for all of us as a unit to continue to grow, and that'll be what OTAs is about.
Hey Bryce, Steve Reed, how are you doing?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, good, good. Hey, I'm just curious. Like late last season, it seemed like the ankle was kind of an issue at times. Did you need any type of surgery, clean out surgery, or anything, or was it just kind of a rest thing? And are you feeling better with that?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Obviously during the season, it's hard to get rest. Hard to do
Yeah.
that. But I have a great training staff here. Was able to get all that out of my system and work through all that during the off season. They did a great job, so I'm grateful for them.
And then just going, as you coming back together with the guys, and how much, what is kind of the attitude after, making them, breaking the playoff drought that had been here for the organization for a while, and how are you hoping that carries into to next season?
Yeah, obviously we want to make sure that we can be consistent with some of the positives from last year, but also we understand that last year was last year. This is a new season. We all start 0-0. There's no carryover. We're not entitled to anything. So I'm super grateful for that being our mindset as a team. Everyone knows, we can't take we can't take our foot off the gas. We have to work just as hard, if not harder, as we have these last few years. Everything's earned, and now it's not the time to be thinking about records or anything like that. It's just about the work. Coach talks about that in the meetings. Now is just time to win every single day, capture our best. So we're focused on that during OTAs.
We'll go with Mike K, followed by Cass.
Bryce, good morning. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Um, Having said all that, to follow up on your previous answer, what was the one or two things that you really wanted to work on this off season to improve on, whether it was in your game from a weight or physical standpoint? What were you trying to improve this off season before you came back for the program?
Yeah, I wanted to sit down, with the guys in this building, with guys I trust, and do self scout and look through all the tape and stuff, and just wanted to be consistent in form, consistent in the habits with ball handling and how you're coming out the huddle, making everything look the same from a pre-snap standpoint. So I wanted to start on the muscle memory for that. Want to make sure that I'm able to continue to take the communication and leadership and processing to a higher level. A lot of it was for me wanting to go back into the playbook, which I thought was just a good exercise for me. Kind of last year it was a luxury of kind of knowing the book more, not having to learn something new, and then feeling comfortable. And then now, it's something that we've talked about as as a unit. We've talked about the coaching staff with not just myself, but everyone doing a great job of taking ownership in the playbook, and everyone feeling comfortable in the system. Us being able to take it to the next level, and adding more things, being more complex. Coaches wanting to put more onto our shoulders, on the field, because they trust us, and because of that, wanting to make sure that I continue to grow, and continue to all of us have mastery in the offense. So I think those are a lot of the things that were big in the offseason for me.
And then obviously it's draft week. I know you didn't have to wait very long during your time during draft weekend, but what's the best advice you would give to someone, quarterback or not, heading into this weekend as far as their temperament or maybe how they handle the weekend?
Yeah, just to enjoy it. Obviously everyone has, different hopes and different outcomes that are going to come, this week, but however it is, it's definitely going to be a time that you remember for the rest of your life. Just to enjoy it with the people that you're closest with, whoever you choose to be around, and just trust that wherever it is you're supposed to be, that's where you'll end up.
Hey Bryce, how's it going?
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Sorry, my camera's not working, so
You're
just
all good.
imagine me there. Kind of going back to what you were saying about being more confident in the playbook this offseason too. Canales has not been shy or has not held back on the idea that you are going into this season knowing that T-Mac and Jalen Coker are your one and your two at receiver. Like, what kind of difference does that make for you to know who your set guys are this early on into your offseason now? And what did those two guys in particular kind of bring now that you've seen them together for a stretch of games?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge luxury for me, for us as a team, and that's credit to them and the hard work that they put in, the way that they've produced. And it just gives us that stability. It's so much easier in the off season. When you have a plan, when you have a view, when you're able to, be player specific in the things that we scheme and game plan and want to work on for the off season. For us right now, in OTAs, when we have those conversations, they don't have to be hypotheticals, which is definitely a luxury to have. So, I think that it allows us, as a team, again, to just be more specific, to dial stuff in. It's a lot of great stability for me, so I'm super grateful.
And then we saw you walking in with Jalen yesterday. Other than that sack in that Week 5 game last year, what did you kind of know about him, and what was your biggest takeaway from this free agency class overall?
Yeah, been around him a few times, and then we're from not too far away, but from each other in Southern California. So I've always followed him and had a ton of respect for his game. Love the competitor he is, how he plays. Haven't played against him a few times, so I'm super excited for what he brings to the team. I'm excited for this free agency class. I'm excited to watch everyone in the front office do a great job with the draft this week. So I mean, I'm grateful to be here, to be a part of this organization. I'm excited for our future, but also, again, we have so much work ahead of us. We're not entitled to anything right now. I'm super grateful for our work ethic, for our attitude to attack this part of the offseason program, and then now it's on us to do that work. So I'm excited to get to that.
Did y'all cross over at all, like in high school football, or was that a little ahead of your time?
Yeah, we never played against each other, but we were in high school at the same time, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go with Joe Person, followed by Bash Ty Hurt.
Bryce, good morning. Hope you had a good off season.
Appreciate that. Same to you.
Thank you, sir. Wanted to ask you, we haven't talked to you since Dave announced that Brad's going to be the new play caller. Wondered how you think that's going to change the look during the week, and then, of course, also on game day.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have all the confidence in the world in Brad. He's been huge for us during this whole staff's time here. It's been probably a little more behind the scenes from the outside looking in, but he's been a big reason for everything that's happened. He's been a big kind of piece of glue just for all the stuff that happens upstairs, and then bridging the gap between that. So great football mind. I'm excited, and honestly, I think when you get a new play caller, you kind of never know. It's when it's live and the bullets are flying, you don't really know what to expect. So And I think I'm excited for that. Again, I'm excited to see, what his spin is, what his kind of personal, thumbprint on the game is going to be, how he calls it. We have call it periods that, I've been around him in for whether it was, in camp and OTAs last season. He's always done a great job. So for me, it's an exciting thing, kind of getting to see, his cadence, see how he, finds his own. We're all behind him. We know he's going to do a great job. So we're all excited.
And then also, you had a group of guys out at Golden West again, throwing and doing some off the field stuff, it sounds like. But that was an opportunity last year where you got to throw with T-Mac. I know a lot of college guys train out there. Did you happen to throw with any of the receivers in this year's draft?
Yeah, not really as much this year with the receivers. Yeah, there are guys out there, but for me it was great to be able to get our guys out there. I'm super confident in this receiver group, tight end group, running back group, all the weapons that we have. I love this group. We have a great group of guys that want to get after it and work. That's what we're all about. So yeah, I'm excited to get to the work.
Thanks, Bryce.
Hey Bryce, Joe took both of my questions, so I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of that. When you host the guys out in Cali, do you plan any off-field events? Do you guys bond outside of the football work?
Yeah, of course. Had a couple of things that we all did together while we were out there. And that's the fun part, especially being able to get out there. That early in the off season. It's obviously the football part is important, and it's always great to get extra work any day. Time you get a day better, it's always great. But also football is we spend so much time in this building, and you get that natural camaraderie through there. But being able to be in different settings, it's great. You're able to form even deeper connections again. It's great being able to be with so many of these guys for multiple years now, so we all know each other well. But yeah, it's always fun hanging out outside of football, being able to do stuff that maybe we're not able to do as easily out here, and just change the scenery.
Can you share any one of those activities that you did?
Went to went to like a Laker game and stuff. Dinners, things like that. But again, for me, it's fun. It's a great group of guys. So not just football stuff. It's guys that are easy to get along with.
I see you growing your beard out. Are we going to get full bearded Bryce
No,
this season?
I just need a haircut. That's all.
All right, thanks.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go with Steve Reed.
Hey, Bryce, one more thing just to follow up on Joe's. You've known Dave now for a few years, and you know how much he loved to call plays. The first part of my question is, were you surprised at all when he said, "Hey," and how did he let you know that? That he was passing off the duties?
Yeah. He gave me a phone call. He gave me a call, and then Brad called me shortly after, and talked about it. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something that I was, expecting necessarily, but again, I have all the faith in the world in Coach. Obviously, that was his decision, and he feels like it's what's best for the team. So I know it's what's best for the team. Again, I trust him and his decision with that. So we're rolling with it.
And then without getting into the strategy part of it, but what did Brad tell you? Like, hey, Bryce, we're going to do a little bit more of this, or this is what I'm expecting of you this season, as he took over.
Yeah, I think for him and for all of us, the biggest thing is just, which I appreciate, is his willingness to want to, put us in the best situation. And it's not this blanket, we're going to do X, Y, Z, we're going to do this X amount of times every game. We're going to run this concept X amount of times. It's, us finding our own. I think we want to try a bunch of different things during OTAs. We want to see what, as a team, as a unit, we take ownership in. We got to see a lot of that last year, but, try to challenge us with some new things. Same with training camp. And then just wanting to be able to, us master things, us kind of have control of, the reins of, like, show him what we're good at. And then as we find that and grow in that process year to year, him being able to, find different ways for us to get to that in the game. So I'm excited for that process.
Alex Zitlow.
Hey Bryce, there's been a lot of buzz around the Panthers this offseason, and a lot of buzz around you specifically after the year that you had. And with that comes elevated expectations after a playoff run like you had last year. Does that manifest in pressure? Like, how does this how do these perhaps expectations impact you?
Yeah, for me and for us as a team, we're big about controlling what we can control. And, the expectations or the opinions, outlooks, whatever it be from the outside, that's stuff that's always going to change, stuff that I can't control. And because of that, I've kind of been at all different stages of that throughout my career. So, you're used to it being one thing one day, something else the next. But what I focus on is just this building, this guys, us, playing to our standard, us being able to attack everything day by day. We all have that mindset. So for me, that's really the only thing I concern myself with.
All right, Bryce, that seems to be all the questions we have for you this morning. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
For sure. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Bryce.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us this morning.
All right.
We'll start things off with Mike K, followed by Cass.
Hey, T-Mac. Good morning.
More.
Obviously, it's the draft this week. What's the best advice you'd give to a prospect heading into this weekend about how to handle the weekend, handle the rumors, handle the TV stuff, handle the family?
I think the biggest thing for me was just knowing that you're gonna end up where you belong. God has a plan for you, and just be happy that wherever you end up, that this is where you belong.
And then you obviously went up against Traden Stukes quite a bit during your time at Arizona in practice. What type of player is he? What does he bring to the table? What makes him special?
Oh man, I can go on and on about him. It's good people's right there. Definitely somebody that will add energy to the locker room. Very coachable, very versatile. Plays inside and out. I've seen him do everything in my years at Arizona. So, me and him have a pretty good bond. We was able to go up against each other for 3 years. So, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for him.
Hey, T-Mac, how's it going?
What up?
Sorry, my camera's not working. Going back to the draft, it obviously kind of gives you a time to look back. Has there been any part over this past year, like going from last April to now, that maybe has surprised you, or you kind of look back and go like, wow, I can't believe I actually kind of like pulled that off, or was able to become Rookie of the Year, or anything along those lines? Was there a part that really kind of stands out?
Coming into the season and just coming into the league, I was pretty confident in my abilities and what I could do, and none of that was a surprise to me. I always try to strive to be the best possible player that I can be, and I knew that stuff like Rookie of the Year and all that wasn't too far, and I knew that I was capable of achieving those things.
Thank you.
We'll go with Steve Reed, followed by Sheena Glick.
Hey, T-Mac. I don't think I've talked to you since you won the award. Congratulations on the Rookie of the Year.
Appreciate you.
So I'm curious. I asked Bryce this question. Were you surprised at all that how much Dave liked calling plays, that he handed it off to Brad? And what is your take on Brad's approach? What do you sense that may be different going into the season? I'm sure everybody has a little different, mindset approach to how they're going to call the offense and what they're going to do. What do you get out of this change? What is your take on it?
I was not surprised at all. I feel like both of those coaches got a really good relationship to where they feed off each other this past year, and Coach Canales was always open to Coach Idrik's, his ideas and what he thought and what he saw, and what he liked. So just Coach Canales giving him that role. I feel like he's going to step into it very comfortable. He's been under a lot of coaches. Been under Coach Canales' wing. So he has a lot of good inspiration to feed off from. So I'm just looking forward to this upcoming year.
And then the second part, what is one thing that you learned about Bryce Young last year playing with him?
There's not much I didn't already know, but just being in the huddle with him and just being on the same team with him when the money's on the line. The thing that surprised me was just how calm and how collected he was in those moments.
Thank you.
Good morning, T-Mac, and congratulations winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year's first time that I've had a chance to talk to you since then. What are some of the things that you worked on or focused on or have up until this point of the offseason, just to kind of piggyback off of what was a really successful rookie season for you?
Really just getting my strength and my power back. People don't know, but my rookie year was the same. I was the same weight my rookie year than I was my freshman year at college. So I wasn't used to playing that small. I felt pretty weak, and it didn't have my power back. So that was pretty much the main focus this offseason for me.
Now, did you do most of that through diet, strength training, and how were you able to kind of, I guess, retain your speed while putting on the weight?
I mean, the weight that I'm at now is what I'd normally been at in college. So kind of just used to it, got my power back, which allows me to be faster, stronger. So, my focus was more in the weight room, strength, diet, and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Joe Person.
Good morning, T-Mac. Thanks for doing this. We just wanted to follow up on that. What would you say you played at, most of the last season, and what are you weighing now?
I played at like 205. And now
what's ideal?
I'm used to walking around like 215, 220.
That was just sort of the strains of I guess, an 18-week schedule, you think, and tough to keep the weight on?
Nah, honestly, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't. For some reason, I just couldn't get my weight back.
Wanted to ask you too, following up on what Mike said. Have you had a chance to talk to Traden at all? Specifically about the Panthers. I think he was in on a 30 visit here.
Nah, I wasn't able to talk to him. I think the last time I spoke to him was at Arizona's Pro Day. I was able to go out there and watch some of the guys, some of my old teammates go out there and just do their thing. So, I wasn't able to talk to Stooks about his 30 visit here.
And then last thing, how was Golden West this year? It looked like y'all had a good turnout.
Nah, it was fun. It's always fun to get back to football at the end of the day, and just being able to be back with the guys and, pretty much just, have fun with the boys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Scott Fowler.
Hi, T-Mac. I wondered what you thought. You obviously are confident, and rightly so, in your abilities. What are your goals for year 2?
I mean, I'm just looking forward to what the future holds, man. And first things first, obviously I want to win games, and feel like we set the standard this past year as far as making the playoffs and winning the division. So obviously I want to continue that.
And how good, last thing from me, how good do you think this team conceivably could be?
Yeah, sky's the limit for this team. We're able to add a few pieces to the puzzle, and we got a lot of experience under our belt just following last year, and this team is capable of doing a lot of things, and we know our potential, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, you know what, T-Mac, sorry, I had one more, and that is Con Knippel, the Charlotte Hornets rookie, had a season similar to yours, and that he's being considered for Rookie of the Year as well. Do you follow the Hornets at all? Have you ever met Con, and what did you think of his year?
Nah, I know, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we lost, but they did a phenomenal job. It's funny because I always say, even, I'm not even I just support Charlotte teams, so whenever I mention them, I always say we, like, damn, we lost, or damn, we won, like, we doing good. But I haven't met him before, but man, he sure is balling, and I feel like his rookie season topped mine in a way. He's been doing a lot better than I have, so shout out to him.
Thank you.
We have time for a few more. We'll go with Vash Hurt, followed by Phil Orban.
Hi, T-Mac. Just one quick question. I'm curious. When you guys come back like you did yesterday, I know that you had some type of, the receivers and Bryce got together, but what are the vibes around the facility when everybody gets back for the first time since the end of the season?
It's like we never left. We picked up right where we left off, and there's nothing but smiles in here. Everybody's happy to be back in the building. But it's been fun. Just seeing everybody again. Dapping up, showing love to everybody, and just just looking forward to playing alongside of them again.
Is there a sense of building on what you guys were able to accomplish last season? Have there been discussions about that yet amongst you all as a team?
Man, I think that's just, just everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what we want to accomplish as a team, and it just goes unspoken because everybody's just got the same mindset on what we want to accomplish. And right now it's still early, but we just having fun and looking forward to working with the guys.
Thanks.
Hey, T-Mac, Joe had some reporting on Dan Morgan's conviction in you very early in the draft process. I'm wondering if you felt that, and do you ever reflect on last year, and if you could sort of just give me what stands out to you most about last year going through the draft process and draft night?
I guess there was a lot of uncertainty for me. People had me as early as top 10, and then some people had me early second round. So, I was just kind of going in there open-minded, not really worried about what other people was thinking, and kind of like the advice I gave in the first question, just kind of, I was going to end up where I belong, and I was here. I'm just super grateful, super blessed to be here, man. I'm just looking forward to, continuing what we got going on over here.
Appreciate it.
All right, T-Mac, that's all the questions that we have for you this morning. Thanks for taking the time.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care.